Hey everybody, this is Ryan, GMB Fitness. Today I'm with my buddy Al Kavadlo. Al, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. What's up, everybody?
All right. You know, we've had you on the show before, and we talked about your books and everything like that. I'm always excited about what you're doing because you just keep getting better and better and better. And you know what? That's what I know you want for your clients and your students, and it's really cool to see you leading from the front. You've got a new book out called Stretching Your Boundaries. I want to get right into it. What's this about, man? What's this about?
Well, you know I love my puns. So Stretching Your Boundaries is a book about flexibility and mobility. You know, there's been a lot of backlash against static stretching, and a lot of people who have come out, and articles who have come out saying, oh no, don't do static stretching, it's bad for you, it's going to make you weak. And I think that's a whole lot of malarkey. So I'm trying to dispel some of that and get a lot of guys who might think of flexibility as a waste of time to realize that it actually can be a very beneficial thing to their strength training as well as their overall fitness.
And this is so great because, you know, in GMB, we're the same way. It's looking at stretching as a good thing. A lot of people say, well, you shouldn't do the passive stretching because it's bad for you and whatnot. But it's been around, you know, stretching's been around for thousands of years. And so, you know, and everyone now, it's funny because you have the stretches that come out and the mobility work and everything that's coming out. And it's almost as if people want this, you know, magical pill that gets them just right away and they jump on the bandwagon for everything like that. What I love about your book is that, and everything that you do, is you just tell it like it is. And you're nice about it, which is cool too, which is a really good thing. But looking at your book, just jumping right into, you know, you've got part one, which is the manifesto, going over, you know, why you're doing this. Then you have the stretches. Then you also have the programming, which is great. And what I like about it is it's not just a book where it says, okay, here's the camel pose, or here's the camel stretch, or here's the bridge, and just put it out there. You give people a program, let them know exactly what they need to be doing in order to get what they want and what they need, which is great. So I want to go back quickly and look at kind of each of the parts here. First off, the photos in the book are amazing. All your books are always that way. I love it. Love it. But looking at Manifesto, tell us a little bit about the Stretch Manifesto. What's going on with that?
Well, basically, the Stretch Manifesto is what we were talking about a second ago, is just making a case for static stretching. And basically, the case is very simple. Your body is going to adapt to whatever stimuli it's exposed to. So if the stimuli it's exposed to is sitting around all day and not moving, then it's going to get tight. And that's why you get guys who can't touch their toes or pick their arms up over their head. And on the other hand, if your body gets used to moving and stretching and using a full range of motion, then it will adapt to that stimuli. So I just want to get people out of that fear of like, oh no, stretching is going to make me weak. Because I mean, the reality of it is most guys can't even do a body weight squat because they're too tight to get down, their heels come off the ground, and their back humps over, and you know, like that should not be the case. So, so I'm not saying that everyone has to train to do the splits, but there needs to be a basic foundation of mobility that is sadly lacking even in people who are into working out.
And I think you bring up a very good point. You know, it's not that everyone should be doing splits. It's that they need to figure out what they need to do in order to help them in their daily life. And, you know, what you're doing right here is a great, in your book, lays it all out. It lets you know, and again, you know, why you should be doing this, figure out what you need, and here's how you do it. So the stretches, what are some of the stretches, like your favorite stretch that you like to do? Or let me rephrase that. What is something that you're still working on right now?
Well, you know, everything's always a work in progress. So no matter where I am in any aspect of my training, I'm still trying to get my form better, cleaner, you know, improve my technique, and I'm still learning new stuff all the time. And you know, you got to be a perpetual student if you want to be a coach. But you know, it's one of those things. I get so many questions from people who are like, I want to learn to do like a pistol squat or maybe an L-sit, and they don't have the flexibility. Forget about the strength. So that's something that I really try to drive home in this book, is to show you very directly, like, this stretch relates to this exercise. So if you want the mobility to do the pistol squat, you've got to do these hamstring stretches and these calf stretches.
And that's great. And that is also very wonderful about this book because, again, it's not just here's the stretch, but how it relates to something else. You've got pictures of you doing, L-sits in there. You've got the flags and everything like that. And here's the stretch that you can use to help you with that. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. As far as the programming and the sample routines, now, I got to ask you, is there a magical pill that we can take where we can get splits in 3 days? How does that work, man? Come on now. I want it now.
You already know the answer.
I want it now.
Ryan. It's like anything worthwhile that's hard like that takes a lot of time. That's what makes it great. If everybody could learn to do a split in 3 days, then everybody would be able to do a split, and then it wouldn't be special to be able to do a split. That's true of a muscle up or a human flag or a pistol squat or any of these other things that people expect these quick fixes with. And of course, as everyone finds out for themselves firsthand, well, it doesn't happen that quickly and that easily, so you have to be consistent. And you have that initial spark where it's fun and it's exciting, but then it gets to a point where it's just work.
Yep.
And that's what separates the people who are successful from the ones who aren't, are the ones who, once it stops being totally fun, are still dedicated enough to see it through.
Yeah, this stuff, let's be honest, sometimes it's not much fun. In the beginning it's fun to learn and start something new, but it's that honeymoon period where once you get past that one point, it's kind of like, okay, are you really going to dedicate yourself to being able to do this? Spend the time, in whatever stretch you need to do. It's going to be uncomfortable. You got to understand that, and you got to work past that. And again, that's just what you said. It's what separates the people from being able to actually do something well and just kind of dabble in it. Love it, man. You're a really, really busy guy right now. I want to quickly touch on what you have going on in your life right now. Recently, well, not even recently. It's been almost a year now, but you've got seminars all over the world. Tell me just a little bit about that.
Yeah, I've been doing this progressive calisthenics certification through my publisher, Dragon Door, and it's been off to a really good start. We just started doing these last year, and this year we're poised to really take things to the next level. We're going to be visiting a lot of different countries. I'm going to be down in Australia in February. We're going to Ireland. We're going to Germany. We're going to Holland. We're going to Ireland. And I think I said Ireland already. We're going to be in Sweden. We were in Sweden last fall. We're doing a bunch here in the States. We'll be in New York. We'll be in Virginia. We'll be in Minnesota. And we're hoping to add more dates as the year goes on. But yeah, the response to this thing has just been really great. It's kind of, there's never really been something like this in the fitness world before. And I wasn't sure exactly if there was really going to be that much interest in it, but the interest in it has been absolutely overwhelming, and it's really exciting to see it.
Yeah, it does.
And,
yeah. I've seen, don't mean to interrupt you, I'm sorry, but, looking at where you're going throughout the world, and, especially on Facebook, whenever you post something, it shows photos and of the seminars you're just packed. I love it. It's really exciting stuff. What I want to ask is, I'm sure that you're using this in your seminars. You're using the stretching and teaching people how to do this. What
Absolutely.
What I'd like to know is, I want people to, of course, just buy the book and jump right into it. But what would be a little bit of advice for a person who's wanting to get back into their stretching? So what is something like right away that you could say, hey, listen, if you're going to start off, first thing you need to focus on is... What would that be?
Actually doing it.
Yeah, okay.
That's the first thing that everybody needs to do anything, is actually do the thing. Stop talking about it, stop thinking about it, and do. And that's really, this book can't get anybody in better shape by itself. That has to come from the person themselves, but my hope is just to inspire people, for people to see these pictures and read these descriptions and to make it seem enticing and exciting, and someone looks at the photo and says, wow, that looks cool, I want to be able to do that, so I'm going to start doing this work. And there's a lot of progressive steps in the book, but I can only open the door for somebody. They've got to walk through it themselves.
Exactly. And this is a good way to do it. We'll put the link for the book where you can get it. It's going to be out very soon, and we were talking earlier, you mentioned that the ebook version of it's probably already going to be out by the time this interview is up there. After that, the book is actually being published right now, printed out right now, so you'll be able to get a hard copy of that if you would like it. We'll have all the info for you where you can get that. So anything else about the book that you'd like to say, advice or anything else about the book?
You know, it's like anything else. But the more you do something, the better you get at it. So I've done enough books now where I've gotten a lot of feedback from people, and people said, "Oh, I like this, but I wanted to see more of that," or "How come you didn't do more of this?" So I really tried to take all the feedback that I've gotten from people on my other books and make this one the best one yet. And I'm really proud of how it came out, and a ton of work went into it. And you know, we spent more time and effort on these photos than I've ever spent on any photo shoots before. And I'm super happy with how they came out. And I think just as a visual piece, this book is going to be inspiring, even if somebody is too lazy to actually read all the words in it. I think they can get a lot just from looking at those pictures.
Oh yeah, the photos, as always, they're amazing. This time around, wow, really, really nice. And I always, you know, every time we talk, I'm always like, wow, the photos are great. But yeah, as you said, you really outdid yourself this time, and you can tell that you spent a lot of time work on this. Al, this is a great book. I want to thank you for being here and just talking about the book. Everyone, as I said, this is Al Kavadlo, and you got to check out his book, Stretching Your Boundaries. We'll have all the info up, and you can check it out and be sure to start stretching. Do the work. Thanks, Al. Appreciate it, man.
My pleasure, Ryan. Thanks for having me.